to send someone home, folks. Goliath has never loomed larger, and David is gonna have to fight in the dark. The Gatekeepers look to send a team home early, but they'll have to hold off the support of the entire region. A date with Carmine Corps awaits the victors. It's Ground Zero on one side. It's G2 on the other for the last spot in the quarters. Let's roll.
Ground Zero are going to be here to face off against their biggest challenge yet. Not just G2 across them on the stage, but this home crowd for the North American legends.
But my region on the other side, Stumpy, Oceania, can they do it? They got the vital win yesterday against the Gladiators, but this is a whole different level.
Ground Zero have had a little bit of a rough time getting through to this point. They went 0-3 versus Secret, 0-3 versus Liquid. Atomic's going to make it hard straight away as well, but they managed to smash their way through Gladiators.
Talk about that win as well. I know that it didn't perhaps get the respect on the desk at least, that 3-0, but it can only do so much. You can only win 3-0. They didn't drop a game, and importantly, they gained that confidence from that series. So I want to see it here today.
You can only beat what's in front of you, and JNAPS is going to be beating the defense early on. The first 30 seconds sees blood fall to the North American.
Yeah, not the best start based on what I was just talking about, but it is JNAPS. T-Bates talked about it. He's only averaging 270 points per game. This could be the perfect series for him to just, you know, build some momentum in his own performance and carry that through the rest of the major.
What, however, is not perfect is G2's record versus OCE teams as Atomic.
Oh, Atomic!
Smashes in the second. They're going to be trying to put those demons to bed.
Yeah, double gimme from Ground Zero means Atomic has so much space. It could have been an open net, but he just shows a little bit of style with the double touch. Beautiful finish right there.
The last time G2 faced off against an OCE team is when they lost to Power, the first ever NA team to do so. They're going to try and put those demons to bed in this series, however, but Ground Zero, their challenge, it is huge. It's going to be monumental to try and work through.
Oh, this could be an opportunity though. Kaka, can he put it away? No, he looks for the almost drop-down passing option. No one there from Ground Zero, and you said it perfectly, G2, they did drop to OCE last major. JNAPS is aware of it. Maybe Kaka here can get an air dribble bump. But G2 so far, it doesn't look like it's phasing them.
I mean, we were speaking behind the scenes about how Ground Zero should be approaching the series. We both agreed, be loud. Like, stand up, talk at G2. Do whatever you can to try and throw them off their game.
Yeah, it looks like they were starting to warm up into this one as well, gaining a little bit of midfield pressure. Fiber has an opportunity. Atomic is right there for the touch and gets a huge beat out. 2v1 play, Kaka's missed. This could be open. Shot on net, Fiber can't get the touch. It's gonna go in. G2 get their third.
Rolls in tantalizingly slowly with Kaka missing it on the right-hand side. Atomic just has to flick and then attempts to go for the bump on Fiber. JNAPS does make contact, Lucky, unable to get there just in time, and 3-0 for G2 in 90 seconds. This may well be an ugly start to a long series for Ground Zero.
Yeah, rough start here. They certainly don't look too warmed up. We saw Kaka just with a little backflip there. That's a perfect sign. They're not quite in this series yet, mechanically, mentally. There's still time here.
And we talk about teams not being in series early on. We've seen a reverse sweep, we have seen a near reverse sweep, and we've seen Chicago score the fourth for G2.
It's starting to get ugly here. JNAPS just flicks the cross over the top of Fiber. Chicago finds the angle, and G2, if this isn't the best game one for their confidence after that series yesterday, I don't know what is.
Yeah, G2 through their groups managed to go 2-1 in the end. They smashed Crew 3-0. They managed to battle G1 incredibly closely in the Battle of the Gs, 3-2 that went to. Then they lost to FaZe at the end, one of the strongest teams in this competition. A decent record, considering for Ground Zero, they are going to be, I think, more on the end of your crews in that conversation.
Yeah, they've put in a pretty good shift so far, G2, and Atomic in particular, he's been the man for this LAN, if you will, for that side. Obviously dropping to FaZe Clan, they wouldn't have liked that, but it is FaZe. In North America, when these teams come up on LAN, it's almost like you expect the same results online, and that's what we saw there. FaZe got the win. But here, G2, as we said, they can find a way, perhaps a pass in. Superlocky does get the save out.
Chicago trying to find a time with that pass. Instead, he won't, and JNAPS misses on the left-hand wing. Fiber over the top. Kaka shies away from that attempt as Atomic finds Chicago. Kaka then heads back, Saves it away, misses the ball on that chance. JNAP central towards Chicago. The double touch isn't going to be possible. JNAP's a lovely low touch. Instead, leaves that ball, tries to hand it off towards Atomic, but miscommunication, leaves possession to fall towards the Oceanics.
Okay, he's going to be able to get a bump as well. Shot comes in. This could be an opportunity. Where's the finish? Super Locky just sitting so deep and now caught out. It's just going to go in.
Oh!
Ground Zero had an opportunity and it goes straight down the other end.
That felt like a chance that completely went missing. Locky moving sort of far up, sort of sitting back, just finding himself in no man's land, and JNAPS sees the opportunity sitting, punts it on net, says thank you very much for the fifth.
And when you're already 4 goals down, you have to push up, you have to show some aggression and try and at least look for some momentum going into the next game. So I don't like seeing Super Locky sitting so deep there. Ground Zero have to maybe get 1 or 2 goals here just to find a little bit of confidence for the next game.
You have to commit to one or the other. Either you push up and you make a really confident press on the ball in every opportunity, or you hang back and you just wait on those defensive plays to then make it a counter shot though from Kaka. Wanting to not be swept perfectly in this first game. A flick over the top. Atomic now facing off versus Locky. Locky to save. 90 seconds begins to tick down in our game 1. 50 goes high. But G2 building that continued offense and starting to suffocate Ground Zero at the source.
Almost the pass play there. Chicago does bail them out. Ground Zero just need to find some more value on their touches in defense here. They're just seemingly throwing the ball away. This could be an opportunity. Atomic's got to be able to touch that one. Wasn't the best first touch, but the demo helps him out.
60 seconds and an infield pass. The JNAPS going to that back right corner. Pinches central, but Locky waits intelligently, holds off until he can pinch it towards Chicago. Kaka to follow as well. A lot of ambition coming in from these passes from Ground Zero. Definitely wanting to not be going 5-0 in game number 1. At least one for the road.
Chicago just missing that opportunity there. He's looked a little bit shaky in game number 1. It's hard to criticise this roster though when you're 5-0 up. Fiber does get the touch across. Super Locky deep again, but he's able to pop it up. Maybe some control here, maybe some momentum. Flip reset doesn't go anywhere. JNAPS just on the backboard, waiting and ready. Well, that could be almost on net.
I like the chances. The idea from Fiber to shoot towards the net, threaten G2, make sure that they don't sit too far forward. Atomic though with low boost, but a lot in their tank mentally, not able to get a goal on that opportunity. With 5 seconds left and 5 goals to the good, G2 open up their round 1 playoff series with a big, fat W.
5-0 for G2. We'll say the kings of North America, just in the fact that they're veterancy. They pretty much own the region. JNAPS has been there for 6 years on this G2 roster, and they've started this impressive. They couldn't have started it much better, really. Ground Zero. I mean, they had, 3 shots in that game, a couple of opportunities, but just defensively, they were all over the place, and they have to reset here. It's best of 5. You don't want to be dropping down. I know we've seen a reverse sweep already, but it seems like a huge mountain to climb so far.
G2, though, business as usual, getting 5 relatively quick goals as well in that series, knowing that they are obviously the favourites coming into it. They're the number 3 seed from North America. However, knowing that Ground Zero are theoretically going to be a team that they're not going to be able to, beat easy, they have to still go for a lot of decent attempts on that net. G2, business as usual, however.
Yeah, it was business as usual. Atomic, he's been the man so far for G2, and he's continuing in that there. 546 points. Fiber just not really coming online in that first game. It is only game 1, though. If this is game 2, we're getting very worried, but we've seen it before. These teams that just start a little slow can really pick their way up in game number 2. We saw what Falcons did to respond. Let's see what Ground Zero can do here with a whole region on their back.
The home crowd certainly in favour of G2 as well. A lot of people sitting down with signs. I've seen a lot of jerseys today with G2 embroidered on them. That looks fantastic. The Ground Zero has got a lot of incredibly intense support from various people all throughout the San Diegan venue. Atomic, in 8 seconds, he makes it 1.
JNAPS just sticking to this ball like glue, gets the 50-50 right onto Atomic's head, and Kaka in there, almost not expecting the shot to be coming out, but Atomic just flicks it over the top. Well, it's a great start here for G2 in game 2.
To the merit of Ground Zero, sure, there were a lot of goals early on in the game, but their defense, it looked decent towards the end. They didn't have too many later on. So hoping that they can start off a little bit better than the first 8 seconds is going to allow. approach 30 seconds gone, and for ground zero, good. No instant from that first goal.
Just interesting opportunities. Goal slotted away. Is it going to go in? Fiber gets ground zero's first of the series.
The confidence as well on the cameras. Seeing Fiber start to light up. Say to Kaka, fantastic work. Sending that over towards me, but Fiber just scrapes the crossbar, scrapes the post, and evens up the series.
Lovely response here. Ground zero, they're a confidence team. They just need that one goal, that one good play to give them some momentum. And maybe here, Kaka off the ceiling. I like seeing that super block. He does backflips, switch to the Dominus as well. Atomic flip preset over the top. Kaka is on the backboard, but he lands awkwardly. J-Naps can't quite put it away.
I love seeing Lockie in a Dominus too. I want more representation in a Dominus at these events especially. The big shout out towards him. The first minute gone. Atomic goes for a 50 down low. J-Naps towards the net. Lockie can clear it away nicely over towards Fiber. Sees Kaka central. Goes solo instead. But Kaka is waiting. Kaka cannot receive as Atomic is just too rapid.
Beautiful defense there. And now an opportunity. He's just going to go straight in. Atomic pops it up. Open net out of nowhere. Super Lockie last man just gets caught out on this bounce and faked out by Atomic. Well played, J-Naps.
I mean, lovely goal still by Atomic, realistically. Getting a nice little touch towards the end, pad those stats. 2-1 for G2. Been a minute 10. Ground zero, I think their main aim has to be stop the bleeding. Do not concede 5 in this game. You cannot.
They have to start setting up a little bit better. Maybe that could help out. Kaka is going to be able to get a shot put to fire. Atomic does get the block out. Super Lockie misses the ball. Fiber has boost. What can he do? Up to the wall to himself. He's going to be able to get another touch. Kaka's in the middle, but again, it's not quite the quality touches that ground zero need right now.
Atomic with 30, resets it wonderfully over one of the defenders. Fiber now, 100 boost. What magic is he going to be able to create? Lockie going for a couple of bumps. I love that. A wonderful schlang towards the backboard. Isn't able to get much from it as the pass finding Atomic on that left-hand side. Now Chicago up high. Atomic wants to whip it round Super Lockie or bump him out the way. The double commit though from Kaka and Lockie leaves it open for J-Naps to collect a goal. Still nothing being able to apparate just yet for ground zero, apart from that first initial goal that they scored just over a minute in this series. We approach half-time, a lot closer than the first one, so improvements certainly made from the Australians.
Yeah, they're just not finding too much in midfield right now. Super Lockie is going to be able to get a 50-50, maybe some sustained offense, or maybe it's the veteran J-Naps down the other end, one-on-one with Kaka, pops it over the top. Where's the finish? Kaka reads it well.
Touch towards the mid, Atomic trying to pass to himself. It catches J-Naps on its journey. Doesn't really get too much further than that. Lockie touching weak into the corner, but it's a lovely bump from J-Naps. Chicago wanting to dish it round, but Fiber blocks him off. I like the ambition from Fiber. Challenge that ball often. Do not let them work it past you. You give G2 space, you give G2 the series.
And G2 are starting to sit back a little bit. This could help out. Super Lockie does get the shot. It goes wide. Double touch goes wide as well. That could have been the equaliser. G2 hanging in there. Still a little bit of boost to work with for Chicago. Does get a huge beat out as well.
Ground zero starting to build up more and more opportunities. Kaka 15 alongside J-Naps. Bounce it off that side wall, beating to the ball. Atomic to Chicago, to J-Naps, doinks it onwards. Lockie isn't able to make contact. CJ, it's a second doink of the day. And it's the third goal for G2.
I love that from J-Naps. It feels like Super Lockie was expecting some sort of a pass play, maybe a bump on him last man. It was a 3v1. J-Naps just opts for the doink. And don't we love that, ladies and
what
gentlemen.
a connoisseur.
G2 get their third goal on the board. Minute 40 left, ground zero. We've seen some more mechanics. They're starting to get warmed up, but G2 look like there's too much quality right now. Super Lockie does get a save, controls the ball. The Dominus flick could come in as well. Kaka's got to be there. The backboard is not free. J-Naps gets the clear.
J-Naps finding Atomic again on that right-hand wall. Those two linking up time and time again, making just a real travesty with the ground zero defense. Pass central, however. Kaka reducing that deficit to just the one.
That's what we need, a pass play from ground zero. Super Lockie recognising it's a free infield. Nobody there.
That.
Chicago near post, can't get it. Kaka slots it away. Well, there's still time here, Stumpy.
Give yourself a couple of options and the final defender is going to have to make a choice. That time, G2 making the wrong one. Minute 15. Chances making more and more appearances for ground zero. Now J-Naps collecting the ball with 20 boost. And the boost steal. Look at the difference from G2 now. Touches down central. Chicago to receive and the pinch attempt. That didn't even go near the net, yet the crowd went, ooh.
There's the shot though, that's going to be it. Kaka makes a huge save on the goal line, follow-up saved as well. Fiber's there, he's got low boost. JNABs playing the long corner right now, grabbing their corner boost, just blocking the ball in this blue half. Atomic drops it down. Chicago's not quite there. This is an opportunity for GZ if they can push forward. Be a huge beat out from JNABs. That could be a goal as well, blocked by Fiber.
30 seconds counting down, ground zero in this second game. Considerably better. JNABs continues his pressure, but gets removed from the pitch. Atomic facing off with Kaka in the air. Kaka winning that battle. It's a 2v1. Fiber 15 along with JNABs, goes high.
JNABs has been huge so far. These huge 50-50s, these 1v2s that he's been doing Chicago. Can he put the nail in the coffin? Blocked out, gets the bump. Fiber now. 10 seconds left. Can we see something from Ground Zero? Super Locky's there, blocked out by Atomic. 5 on the clock. What can we see here? Maybe an opportunity. Fiber's there. Atomic's air dribbling. Ball is still in the air. Hits the ground. G2-2-0.
Sheer control from Atomic in the last 10 seconds. That ball did not leave his radius whatsoever. Great game management from G2. This is looking like it's getting closer, but so clearly G2 are in the lead, and they have got control of this series. It's in the palm of their hand.
9 saves from Ground Zero as well. They had to really just put up with an absolute onslaught, an offensive barrage there, and again, it was a well-rounded performance from G2.
And 13 shots for G2 compared to Ground Zero's 5. Nearly rocking up triple the amount of opportunities. And G2, this is going to be their path towards that quarterfinals. Waiting for them are going to be the Kings of Europe in Carmine Corp. But first, they've got a dispatch of the Oceanic region.
And Ground Zero's defense has been plaguing them the whole tournament right here. I think they just need to push up, pick up the pace, try and get some midfield control, because when they're on defense, it looks pretty shaky. I know they had 9 saves there, but that transition play is catching players out. The third man's in no man's land, as you said. Ground Zero, though, was an improvement on game number 1. Let's see what they can do here. Backs against the wall. I think they like the pressure on them, so I'm looking forward to a big one here.
We've seen some incredible turnarounds so far in game 3 throughout the rest of today. Will Ground Zero be able to continue that trend, or are G2 on for a sweep?
Chicago is going to be up, blocked out by Kaka. That's what we want to see. That one just almost be going in. My perspective was not great there, Stumpy. Down the other end, G2 can't quite get the touch. Super Lucky challenging. We're seeing the pace get picked up. Kaka is getting some value out of their touches. The midfield game is improving here from Ground Zero. This is a fantastic start, only 30 seconds in.
Atomic to receive on that right-hand wall. With one reset, he then aims for Super Locky, but Locky wonderfully being able to work his way away from the incoming Predator missile. Shago, the lovely touch backwards. Gets up the 100 boost too, and now he's completely solo in the skies until Kaka comes charging at him. JNABs doubles it central. Kaka with an interception, I love that. Do something different, go strange with it, get these touches, but JNABs to the backboard. Did not read that one as well as he would have liked. First minute with no goals scored, Ground Zero improving on that front.
And they're getting some great control as well. Fiber is going to be able to keep this ball. Chicago's awkward, still wins the 50-50, but Kaka gets another one off. JNABs passes the ball up, this could be dangerous. Last man, Super Lucky might be able to get a solo play. Atomic's pre-jumped, the bump comes in, and Chicago bails them out. Fiber now is going to have to race back. Chicago might be able to get the solo play, pops up to the old boy JNABs, who does get blocked out. Atomic keeps the ball in, but Super Lucky with enough boost should be able to work this one out for Ground Zero.
Dominus putting in a big old shift as he flip resets it over towards that back corner, but nothing to come from it until JNABs passes towards Chicago. An interception from Kaka. He is becoming much more instrumental in this series.
No, it missed!
Lucky touches down, but it's just wide of the net.
I just wasn't expecting the miss there, but Ground Zero is still on the offense. They're still pushing forward. Super Lucky with the demo. Might be able to get a couple on this. He's got boost, pop over the top, but the double commit might see the end of this attack. Atomic.
Atomic. Chance to go high. Didn't fancy the goal himself on that chance. 2 minutes, still no goals, even as you like, until it gets rocketed towards the crossbar. Kaka saves it away.
Yeah, he's been huge so far. Atomic might be able to get the touch. Super Lucky's ready. He's got 100 boost as well. I was going to say, let's see what the Dominus can do. Not much in that situation.
Give away the ball, apparently.
Give away the ball was not the play there, but GZ with a miss from Atomic. Maybe an opportunity now. JNABs fake underneath. Shot should be coming in. It's got to go in. G2 get the first on the board in perhaps the final game.
And JNABs takes on 2 with that fake as well. Locky stays grounded. Kaka gets the 50 with him. And JNABs nearly stealing the goal at the end, but Chicago, the benefactor, Halfway through the game, only 1 goal scored. Ground zero. They are making strides towards the goal of their own.
Almost the kickoff goal as well. Second man just cheated up too much. Atomic goes for the shot. It's not got any power on a follow-up shot. Oh, the bumps come in. No defense from Ground Zero. G2 get their second.
And G2 just becoming that well-oiled machine that we have seen them dominate North America with recently. Lockie tapping it in, knows there's no chance he can get it after Atomic goes for that bump as well. G2, 2 goals, game 3. And the light of OCE really fading fast.
It is fading, but there's still half a game left. Let's see what Ground Zero can do. We saw Kaka just starting to get a little bit more involved. Huge win from JNAPS. The ball's still in the blue end. Ground Zero need to find a way out. They need to get some control, but the demos aren't helping. The bump plays aren't helping. Chicago just being a menace down that end.
2 minutes on the clock with Kaka with control. 0 boost, it falls to Chicago. Shoots is on the net because Atomic, yet again, going for those bumps. He has been an incredibly aggressive player in this third match.
And Ground Zero just sitting in net. They need to get down the other end. G2 growing in confidence offensively. Kaka got to get some control. Has to get another touch, perhaps in infield. Super Lucky, can we get a double touch? But again, the midfield, JNAPS cutting it out.
Ground Zero really struggling with the speed that they've been facing from G2 so far. They have the ideas, they have the passes, like that one, but they get intercepted, they get saved quite easily. It all seems quite routine for G2.
G2 are known for infield passing as well, so you bet your bottom dollar they're going to be watching the infield pass down the other end. They've been aware of it. They conceded last game to it, but it feels like they fixed it up. Sathu's too good of a coach. He's recognising their passing plays. And Ground Zero, minute 15 on the clock. Tournament lives on the line. Atomic goes wide. Super Lucky solo play doesn't get beat out. JNAPS has challenged every single ball in this game for 3 games now. Kaka, what can he do? Gets a fake underneath, doesn't get the boost. Maybe a follow-up off the stealing. Maybe a shot. They're awkward in net. G2, hold on.
The final minute, counting down with Super Lucky going for that double touch. It goes low, pass towards fiber, nearly central. Chicago saving left wall. Kaka up for the double, but Atomic shuts down that dream quickly.
45 seconds. What can Ground Zero do? Super Lucky's going to be able to get the corner boost. JNAPS is right there, though. Follow-up. Fiber gets the touch. Almost 30 seconds left for Ground Zero for all of Oceania. Can they find a way back into it? Super Lucky must be fleet parried out by Chicago.
Back corner now, the site of all the action. Switches sides for Super Lucky on the backboard. 25 seconds, a goal needs to come in as soon as possible, and Chicago bumped into the save.
Nothing's working out here for Ground Zero. 15 seconds left, it's do or die now. They need a goal this very second. Super Lucky fakes it out, perhaps one last attack, air dribble, goes high with the dominance, looks for the bump, gets the bump, Kaka follow up, can Fiber get in there? 3 seconds left, that looks like it's got to be it. Ground Zero are going to get swept by G2. And the North American veterans move on to the quarterfinals.